First, I'd like to just apologize for my couple of minutes of delay, of my absence. Secondly, I just want to extend my gratitude to everybody that's been sending me messages of support, upliftment, not just today, but over the last 8 to 9 years. You guys have really just held me down. Honestly, from meeting so many of you in the street, so many of you at different events, on public transport, like from youngsters to elders, people my grandparents' age, I am truly grateful, truly grateful. Today, something in my spirit led me to want to speak about this today. It's been something that I've been going back and forth with myself about for so long. And one of the main reasons why I didn't feel confident to speak about this is because I've been told by industry professionals that it's not advised to speak about this because those in positions of power may, stop my bag, basically, close the door on opportunities. However, I don't serve man. I serve the Most High, and that is the bottom line. I know that God is greater than anything and everyone, and let that be known. So again, putting my emotions to the side, I look at myself every day in the mirror, and I always say, ask the Most High to just use me. My little sister called me yesterday, excited to share news with me about a new endeavor that she has. And then it made me think, okay, how are you honoring the legacy of the black woman if you choose to remain silent? It made me just really look into my life and the areas of my life where I've allowed fear to hold me hostage. And this situation for so many years has been a hindrance to my life. Not speaking about it, feeling devalued, feeling like my voice didn't matter, or if I spoke that no one was gonna listen. And don't get me wrong, I have spoken about this before. It's not just now I'm speaking about it. I've spoken about this before. Those of you that know me know I am unapologetically black. There is no denying when it comes to the blackness. I'm blickety black. Honestly. So, yes, what I want to say is I'm not here to shame anybody. I'm not here to shame anybody. And this is not a anti-white thing. This is not that. That just as much as my black people have uplifted me, I've had many white people and people of different races uplift me also. But what this is calling people out for the wrong that they are doing, for the wrong that they have done, and speaking to educate not only ourselves but the next generation. You see, the thing about this new generation is they are not silent. They are unruly. And I feel it's an honor to just be a part of what is going on today. I was saying to one of my sisters earlier, we ain't never seen outrage like this. We have never seen outrage like this. Back in 2016, back in 2017, we were marching. We were marching for Sandra Bland. We were marching for Mark Duggan. It's 2020. There has never been outrage like this. My friends in different countries around the world, everybody speaking, whether their voice is shaken, speaking with every ounce of breath in them, speaking till their voices are heard. Again, then I questioned to myself, okay, Misha, what are you doing? What are you doing to honor the legacy of the black woman that you are? So I sit and I think, okay, I could be doing more. Every day I pray for the Most High to use me. Use me. Let me be a... Allow me to be a vessel. My battery is quite low, actually. Use me and allow me to be a vessel. Today, it's like God said to me, Misha, this ain't even about you. Something that I've been knowing, but this ain't about you. You're going to speak for your people. So, today, I'm about to stick this charger in because, yeah, this low battery business is not fucking up my flow. Hold on a second, please bear with me. Okay, so we don't know if it's gonna hold like that. Yeah, hopefully it will. Is it holding? Okay, we good? Oh no, oh shit. Hold on, guys. Thank you. Okay, we're in. And big up my sister Lawaj. And big up everybody that has supported me. Honestly, what you're looking at today isn't just me. It's never been just me. I'm raised and I'm held up by a village of women first and foremost. Women younger than me, women older than me. And rest in peace to my Gran Henny. Anyway, let me resume. So back in 2011, I auditioned for the Xfactor. And my friend, actually, she was the one that had already... She registered for me. And she was like, right, okay, I've registered. All you need to do is turn up on the audition date. So I went through the whole process. And in my head, I'm like, there's thousands and thousands of people. There's no way that I'm going to get through. But, you know, we move. Again, understanding that this is bigger than me. I knew that God always had what he had for me. So we move, gone through the different rounds, and, you know, everything was seemingly going okay. I was performing, I was super nervous, and let me say this. As much as I'm confident in my ability because I put time and effort, I work hard in everything that I do. But when it comes to like that braggadocious or ignorant shit, I'm not with it. That ain't me. So, going through the process of the TV, the rounds, I don't really know how to tell this, but I'm going to tell it from as far as I remember my first experience with racism on the show. So I had performed sorry, I'm mumbling my words. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. I had performed Rolling in the Deep on the live show. And I received so much love. And I received love from people that I looked up to, from Kylie Minogue to so many different people. And, you know, I was super overwhelmed. And when I'm overwhelmed, I just go into myself. You know, I'm very, like, withdrawn, or, like, when people are talking at me, I'm kind of just like, thank you. Still, it didn't feel real that I was having the opportunity that I did, let alone receive the love and appreciation from people that I've grown up listening to. So, on that day, I remember a few contestants coming up to me saying that this person said this about your performance, and that person said that about your performance. And that was my first experience with people being insecure within their own abilities and projecting that insecurity onto me. Saying, oh, she's not that good. The only thing that was good about her performance was the B in her rapping SHIT. And these are other contestants that are on the show. The way I was raised was to always uplift other women. So anybody that was on the show received upliftment from me firsthand. I spoke to my mentor about this. She said, Misha, Kelly Rowland, shout out to Kelly Rowland. She had touched on the fact that people are intimidated by greatness. So they're always going to have something to say, and that I must just learn to, water off a duck's back. We're coming up to, I think it was like week 3 or week 4 now, and the girls in my category, we had gone and watched the Carrie Hilson at, was it Hackney Empire? No, the O2 Indigo. We've gone and watched her. The girls, so it was me, Janet Devlin, and it was Sophie. Shout out to Sophie. And shout out to Janet as well. At that time, we were all staying in a massive mansion. Rio Ferdinand's mansion, to my understanding. And it was in Hertfordshire. And the girls were all crammed in one room, so everybody was sharing a bunk bed. So on my bunk bed bottom was Janet Devlin, who was, again, in my girls category. But they had the overs, they had the groups. Everybody was banging in this room. Now, we'd gone there, and the 2 girls in my category, we'd gone to the Carrie Hilson concert, and we got back in like 2 o'clock in the morning, just because it was so far out. And we arrived back at the mansion, went to sleep, woke up in the morning. Now, I formed a really good relationship, more like a sister relationship, with one of the ladies in the other categories. Her name is Sammy. She had dark hair. And so I'd always sit next to her on the coach to the Tameside, the recording studio, which is in Wembley. Yeah, which is in Wembley. So as I'm getting on the coach, I go to sit next to her, but I'm greeted by another contestant, a Caucasian contestant. Now, this particular Caucasian contestant had it out for everybody because she wanted to win. And, I definitely feel like there's some underlying mental health issues that led to some of her behavior on the show. And so I didn't really take anything she said personal until this day. She had barricaded herself and me. How do I explain it? Okay, so this is one side of the coach, yeah? And this is another side of the coach. And in between here is the walkway. So she stood here as I'm trying to make my way through. And Kitty Brooknell is her name. I said, Kitty, please can you move out the way? She ignored me. She was like, can I hear something? So I'm like, Kitty, can you get out of the way? She's ignoring me. Then Marcus Collins, shout out to Marcus Collins, love Marcus. Another male of colour, another black man, asked Kitty to move out the way. Kitty moved immediately. Before I even got a chance to move, Kitty then closed the gap. So she's in my face again. Remember, this has come from nowhere. Nowhere. Then I've gone, Kitty, move out of the way. Because at this point, I'm like, yo, this girl is really perplexing me. She's perplexing me. And because I was aware prior to me even auditioning for the show that they were always going to throw this angry, aggressive black girl narrative on me, just know I was on my P's and Q's. I knew the opportunity that was up hand. I don't come from, anybody that's in here that comes from ends, I come from a very broken home. Any opportunity for me was always to show my siblings, the people that come from where I come from, that we are more than our circumstances, that there is a way out of this, not how you start isn't how you end up. So I was on my P's and Q's. Anyway, back to this girl. She's perplexing me. So I said, Kitty, get out of the way. Then I just bunked past Kitty. So at this point, it's like I've played into her hands. Oh, why am I still holding this? It's like I've played into her hands. And she then started saying, oh, you're jealous of me. You're jealous. And I was like, I actually have nothing to be jealous of. I'm actually quite happy with myself. I said, I know what I'm here. I know what I'm here for. So I took my seat. I've gone to sit next to the friend that I told you about in the beginning, Sammy. And she's put bags on her seat as if she didn't want me to sit next to her. So in my head, I'm thinking, what is going on? Spirit is telling me, Misha, this is bigger than you. Be careful, be careful. Anyway, so I go and sit somewhere else, and anyone can vouch for me. I always had my Dre beats on. I was in my zone. If I wasn't reading my book, I was listening to music, and I was writing music. Anyway, boom, so we've gone to the Tameside Studios, and I've arrived there, and I'm following my friend Sammy, the one that's in the older category. And I'm like, Sammy, what's wrong? She's then turned around to me. Bear in mind, I'm 5'2". She's like 6 foot odd. She's an elder to me. She then starts losing her shit at me. I was accompanied by one of the runners, and a lady called Alanda. She then starts going sick at me. What do you mean? You know what's going on. You know what's going on. I know all the things you've been saying. You've been saying I'm too fat to win. You've been saying about the Little Mix girls. You've been saying that, something I said about the Little Mix girls are evil. And how, yeah, Kitty's, just one bag of fuckeries. One bag of fuckeries. So then at this point, I'm reduced to tears, because you see, when people try to attack my character, that's one thing that my grandma's always said to me. Your character is the one thing people will remember. You see, when people try and attack your character, and the things they're saying are so inaccurate, that's where it hurts the most. That is where it hurts the most. So I'm crying at this point, and I'm like, Sammy, that's not the case. It's not the case. And you're obviously defending what is right. Anyway, so moving on from there, she's gone in a room with me, and she's just not giving me no knowings at all. And so then Kitty's then popped her head out of one of the Louis Walsh's dressing room, and then she's popped her head back in it, crying. Now remember, this is somebody that lives for the headlines. This is somebody that lives for tabloids. Me, I went on the show. Let me just be blunt and honest. I don't give a fuck about fame. I don't give a fuck about fame. Fame is the last thing on my agenda. Yeah? I have purpose. Passion and purpose. Listen, if it ain't about the upliftment of my people, I am not interested. Yo. So, moving on from there, one of the exec producers had called for, I said, I want to speak to the Little Mix girls. I want to be able to talk, have it out, because that's the type of person I am. I don't really do the one bag of passa, he said, she said, right? So I was like, okay, can you get the girls? Can we all have a conversation? Bear in mind, I'd built individual relationships with each person. It may not have been no haggy best mates type of thing, but any interaction, it was always an upliftment, you know. That was the bottom line. It was always upliftment. So the girls have come in the room, and I've just said, I want to know what's going on. Like, I'm waking up in the morning, I'm being attacked here, and I'm being told I've been saying this. Then I can't remember which one of the girls, I think it might have been Jessie, said that, well, you've been saying that Leanne has evil eyes, and and you don't think we're going to win, and we're shit singers. I was like, wow. I said, first of all, let me just get this very, very clear. I have no energy to be focusing on anybody else when I have so much at stake here. It is not in my character to want to tear another sister down. Never been in my character to want to do that, or to do that, point blank, period. Anyway, so from there, I think one of them started crying. And then I said, well, there's a few things that people have come to me and told me that you girls have said about me. I said, but I'm not running and making a big hoo-ha about it. I'm outnumbered here, you know. The exec producer escorted the girls out. I'm walking through the corridor, the Xfactor corridor, and I see Tulisa talking with the exec producer, and I'm just receiving like a real coldness from everyone. Like, no one's looking in my eyes. Everyone's looking past me. They're not looking in my eyes. And at that moment, it's like I felt invisible. So I told Kelly about everything that had happened. So Kelly, as always, she prayed with me. She sat me down. Again, reinforced that, God has got this. Reinforced that God is always in control. And she was just like, take this energy and, allow it to be your adrenaline to your performance. So this is when the performance happened. So I performed. I performed. The performances come to an end. And remember, energy doesn't lie. You pick up on bad vibes. I could feel that the Louis was on verbal violence. He was on verbal violence. And you see, the thing is about people that are on verbal violence, that is all they are on. So Louis then said something about me being, you're a confident girl, you're confident. I wonder if you're too overconfident. Let me just make this very clear. These judges spent a maximum of 1% time with me and their contestants. Apart from Gary and Kelly, the rest of them didn't poop on their acts. They didn't poop on their acts. So my understanding is you created this whole narrative of me being overconfident because I'm black. And in your eyes, black girls should not be confident. Black girls are just one of. Oh, you look like a young, Dina Turner, you look like a young Shaka Khan. Why can't I not just look like me? Why is it always we have to look like somebody else? Why is there always a comparison for black women? Confident, something that I've heard my whole life. Oh, yeah, you're too confident. Oh, you're too loud. Or you're too... What? I don't know about any of you, but I am tired. I am tired. So moving on to Tulisa. Now, if you watch the clip carefully, because I've gone back and I've watched the clip carefully, this woman had every line scripted before she even opened up her mouth. I wasn't fooled. I'm not fooled. I know what it is here. I know exactly what it is here. And you see, back in 2011, they got away with it. They got away with so much shit. It took me a while to understand that crying isn't a weak thing. It took me a while to understand that allowing myself to be vulnerable, allowing myself, speaking my truth unapologetically is where my power lies. So Tulisa continued. Feisty, she threw. That was the first word she threw. Followed by mean. Now I know I am not the only one here that has heard those words. Feisty, mean. These are like the common words that people use to describe black women. She then went on to say that I can't remember, something along the lines of her spending, she's seen that, you know, some of the things that I can say can come across as quite mean. I just want to make this very clear. This woman spent 0 time with me. The only conversation this woman had with me was after this all happened, when she gave me a very half-assed apology. Not the words, I'm sorry, but I just want you to know I never meant you no harm. The damage is done, bro. The damage is done. So moving on from there, at that moment, I just remember feeling like my whole world stopped. I just remember feeling like everyone was talking at me and everything was moving around me, but I was just here and nothing was moving. I went backstage. I was greeted by the wardrobe women and they were crying. My friends that did styling. Shout out to Ricky Finley. Shout out to Laurie Smith. These women, these are white women. They held me up. They held me up. They cried with me. They held me. And every week, my clothes were like, they gave me an extra bit of confidence. We had fun with it. That night, when those allegations and all that fuckery happened, I just remember I was on the coach. I was on my own. And I decided to sit on my own. I just needed time to kind of just breathe, you know. And I just remember thinking of ways. I'm not into that whole crying shit on camera because that ain't my steez. But let me tell you something. I remember thinking of ways to end my own life. You don't even know. I remember thinking of ways I could just end the pain. We arrived back at the mansion, and all I could think about was running away. Just getting out of there. Because to me, everyone in that house was an up. Every one of them were ups. Because enough people stood by and didn't say nothing. Enough people stood by and didn't say a damn thing when they knew it was wrong, when they knew it was lies. So, when it appeared that everyone had kind of gone to sleep or just was out of the way of the front door, I packed myself a bag and I ran. From the mansion to the gates of the mansion. It's like a mile road, which is the path. I remember running, and I remember feeling like rain just slapping up my face. In the security at the end of the pathway, I remember just zipping past security with my bag on my back, just running. I ran to the forest. It was dark, pitch black. And all I wanted to do was get away. Then I heard 2 runners shouting, Misha, Misha, Misha. Yo, Misha, 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 please come back. Please come back. In my head, I'm looking at them. And I'm like, yous are just up. Every one of yous are ups. because you stayed silent when you knew what they were doing. You knew everything they was doing was lies. The way they orchestrated everything. And so I had trust issues for the longest of time, and it's only just now that I'm like learning to trust people again. From that moment, I named Alanda, shout out to Alanda, because Alanda was always supportive. Alanda Dunn, she was very supportive. Adam was alright. He was another runner. But they took me back to the house, and they called for my sister to drive up from Manchester and my family to drive up. So my sister came that same night, and then my sister prayed for me. My sister prayed for me. She said, sis, I know you want to go. I know you want to leave. Remember, this is a marathon. You have to finish what you started. You're not alone. She's like, everyone is here. Everyone is lifting you up in prayer. You got to stay and finish this, because this is a marathon. Just remember who you are. I remember those words like it was today she said it to me. From that moment, my brother, Rio, shout out to Rio, he gave me a book by Iyanla Van Zandt called Acts of Faith. It's like daily devotions. And every day it was like Spirit was speaking to me. It was lifting me up. And if you do get the chance to go through any of the videos again, you will see that wasn't no mundane level of spirit, you know. You might see me alone, but I was never alone, you know. I don't play when I say the ancestors are with me. From a very young child, I knew they were with me. I knew that me being here and me going through certain things is purpose-led. It's bigger than me. Before I went to the live show, they proposed that I change my name to Misha B. At the time, I was like, oh, of course, that's the name that Kelly Rowland had given me, you know, Misha B. She'd always call me Miss B, or she'd say Misha B. And so I was like, oh, cool, I'm down with that. Little did I know this was a part of their corrupted agenda to play into the Misha bully that they had already orchestrated prior to this. Little did I know. But you see the thing about God-fearing Pickney, God always takes what man entails for bad, turns it round for the greatest of goods. So everything I endured, every emotion, those suicidal thoughts, that was the first time in my whole life that I've ever felt suicidal. I knew, now I can say, I can look back and be like, okay, I understand why that had to happen, so that I could elevate emotionally, spiritually, mentally. In 2012, my manager, Shah, encouraged me to go to the doctors. Mental health is like super taboo in like my family, and just at that time, you know, mental health wasn't where it is today. And so I didn't know much about I didn't know much about mental health. I just knew my grandma had bipolar. And yeah. Anyway, so I went to the doctors. And then the doctor was asking me loads. The doctor was asking me loads of questions. He drew up his analysis and said that I had PTSD. I'm like, huh? Isn't that thing that soldiers get? Because that's my understanding. So I'm like, me? PTSD, huh? What I didn't understand was that experience, that trauma, had changed me as a person. It changed me. I didn't trust anyone. So everyone asks me, Misha, where have you been? What's been going on? I've been battling. I've been healing. I've been working on self. I started therapy in 2012. I'm still having therapy now. Shout out to all my therapists. Yous are the greatest, honestly. If it wasn't for your patience, kindness, understanding, and your services, more importantly, honestly, life would be very different right now. You'd be looking at a very different Misha B right now. So, I don't know what many of you are expecting when you tuned in. But those of you that have stayed with me will see that I'm about honoring my truth. No matter how that looks. No matter how uncomfortable that makes people feel. I spoke to my mum the other day. My auntie that raised me. And she expressed her own battles with racism in the workplace and how she's in court dealing with this and that. And the vim in her tone for fighting what she believes is right, it resurrected the fire that's in my heart, the fire that was in my heart from the very beginning. And so I say that to say this. My sisters and my brothers, we are powerful beyond measure. My sisters and my brothers, regardless of your race, if you're in here today, you're my bro, you're my sis. We are powerful beyond measure. Sometimes people don't see our value, and that's okay. We must first value ourselves. We must first value ourselves. Please don't ever get this mistaken. I do not look to them for validation. I know who I am. I am a black woman. Happy, proud, vulnerable, strong, divine. I am love. I am light. I honor my darkness. Because let's never get this twisted. I was walking through some dark times. I had to understand, in order to get to the light, you must go through those dark times. I know sometimes in religion they'll have you thinking, the darkness is bad, the darkness is bad. But let me tell you something. It is in the darkest days of my life I found strength. I truly met love because I had to dig deep. I had to dig deep and understand who I was, first and foremost. Many people talk about rock bottom. My godmother said to me, the beautiful thing about rock bottom is, when you reach rock bottom, there's only one way up. And this is why I'm still here. This is why I'm still here. This is why, regardless of if my voice is shaking, you better believe I'm going to talk. You better believe I will not be silenced. Even if there was one person that tuned into this live, you better believe I'll be talking to that one person. Because this is bigger than me. This is bigger than all of us. This is for the next generation. When I wrote the song Letter to My Sister, every day I look at my little sister. She's my inspiration. She motivates me in ways. Got this. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, I went to a little girl's party. Shout out your girl Zay. And I've seen this little girl go from calling herself, when I was telling her she was beautiful, she was like, I'm not beautiful. This was when she was about 5. This girl, she turned, was it 9? 8. She turned 8 yesterday, well, on Wednesday, but partied yesterday. This is a new level of confidence. This is why I do what I do. This is why I speak out. This is why I will continue to be unapologetically black, because it ain't just about us. We have responsibility as black women, as black men, to be unapologetic for the next generation. Start speaking affirmations and greatness over everybody's life from today. You got a little brother, you got a little sister, maybe you even have a neighbor. Simple things like, never forget you're so beautiful. Remember you're powerful, King. Gentle compliments. I remember I was in high school, and I was very challenged when I was in high school because, you know, it was year 7 when I found out that my auntie wasn't, so confusing. I was in year 7 when I found out that my mother was unable to look after us because of her drug addiction. And so I went into school, I was out of control. And my mentor, Naomi Jackman, who is still my mentor till this day, was the first person to speak greatness over my life. Her exact words were, Misha, you have no idea what God is about to do with your life. He's going to take you to deep depths and high heights. You needn't worry about this superficial stuff. You have purpose for your life. Yes, the teachers might have told you ain't never going to be shit in life, but you have purpose. That was the first person. I was 14. I was 14 years old. First person to speak greatness over my life. Like she saw the vision clearly. She seen me when I didn't see myself. And we need that. We need that. We need those young black girls. They need us. They need us to get our shit together. They need us not to be silent. They need us to be honest. They need us to fight for them. They need us to be unapologetically black. When the world is screaming, you're too black, you're too angry, you're too aggressive, you're too this, those young black girls need us to be black, too black. They need us to be too black. Shout out to Naomi Jackman. That woman changed my life. She's still my mentor now, by the way. Still my mentor now. I want to say this. Anybody that is aspiring to get into the industry, get your purpose straight. Check yourself. Make sure your intention for doing is pure. I have another mentor, Aziza Francis. Aziza came into my life just about 2 years ago. And she has been a driving force in me remembering my power when I didn't even recognize that I had any power. She affirmed greatness over my life over and over again. She fought for me. And that's a fellow sister. That is, for me, what sisterhood is all about. When you can't see yourself, your sister holds you by the hand. She holds you when her legs are shaking. She holds you when she can't even hold herself. You see me? Long live my sisters. Long live my sisters. Janatra. Sister, go get it. Around my room is affirmations. I wake up in the morning. There's affirmations around my room. Sent to me by Janatra at Sister, Go Get It. I am Black Excellence. Rosa Parks flow now. Be your own kind of beautiful. I'm going to show you very. Remember. Remember your power. And my power is reaffirmed to me. In that moment, it's like I remember who I am, so I wake up on purpose. I wake up with the intention to impact the world in a better way. Let me say something. I would like to continue living my truth. I want to encourage everyone in here to live their truth. No matter how that looks. No matter how it may feel sometimes. I'm not about crying on camera. When I see it, I cringe. I cringe. However, today I am that girl. You know, one thing I learned in therapy is like crying is cleansing. It's a way of, releasing that stress and those pent up emotions and feelings and trauma from your body. So cry if you must. Scream if you must. Laugh if you must. Write if you must. But always honor your truth. Always honor your truth. In the last few years, I've released 2 singles. Rosa Parks Flow. Nah. I don't even need to get into details why I released Rosa Parks Flow now. 2 years ago, I'd had enough. Last year, I released Letter to My Sisters. When you look at me, I need you to understand that you're looking at about 1,000 sisters, 10,000 ancestors, and the power of the Most High. I want to give a massive shout out to a lady that has single-handedly been responsible for so much of who I am. Judith Shaw. That's Henny's daughter. Jew. It's women like Judith in my community in Manchester that make women like me. But it's you, the people, the love and support from the people is what keep me going. I just want to end on this. I'm grateful. Today I feel lighter. This has been a long time coming. I've wanted to get this off of me because it was just on me. You know when something's just on you? I wanted to get this off me. I wanted to release it. Today I'm grateful that I have the confidence, the courage, and the power to speak my truth. To the ancestors, love, honor, and appreciation every time. To my sisters, forever. Can we do this? Can we make life greater, better for the next generation? To my brothers, I see every single one of you in here. Love, love, love. We need you. We appreciate you. Shout out to my bro Cash. Shout out to Kofi. I see you all. I see you all. The new wave of music. I don't really want to talk too much, but just know everything that I've experienced in the last 8 years has been a catalyst to some of my greatest work. My greatest work. Shout out to Joseph. So, again, you can expect new music from me. If you are in the industry and you have a platform or you can help in any way possible, I would appreciate that. Again, I'm not so hard on the ears. So, any advice, I'm open. I appreciate you guys. Again, when they go low, we go high. Simple things. Enough flow, enough respect, light and appreciation to every single one of you. Shit. Boom.